Lion Vaman Kumar is a practicing lawyer in the High Court of the Kerala at Cochin. He served as a government of District 318C during 1819. As DG, he constructed 75 houses for the BPL victims of Kerala flood in 2018. Within 10 months and raising a 5 crores rupees, extended in 30 new clubs and achieved 500 positive membership growth. Honor at Las Vegas convention, Dias extending 6 new clubs within 10 days. In June 2018, contributed American dollar 70,000 to LCIF from the district that stand as an all right record, highest record. He was the Lion 2013 and 2014, got international president's medals, leadership medal twice, and constructive of appreciation on 12 times. He was the best secretary in Kerala multiple 2013 and 2014. Served as a faculty for ALLI in 2019. He is a LCIP graduate. Served as the multiple council chairman of MD 318 last 5 years. At present, he is the MD of LCIF coordinator. He was the national president at Indian Justice in 2003 and won the JCs, that is the JCI award for the best national president, international president award from the world. He's the first Indian to get that prestigious award. He is a qualified international trainer, JCI. Believing in training and as a free launching soft skill trainer for the January last 28 years and conducted more than 3,500 training program in India and 25 countries abroad. Here I present Lion, today's guest faculty being to beginning Lion Vaman Kumar. Thank you.
Thank you, Lion Vasant Kumarji Gujar.
Thank you.
The session is yours, sir.
Yeah, right. Thank you very much, the GLT coordinator Ravindra Satpure, the worthy and very knowledgeable district governor of 3234 D2, Abhay Shastriji, Chief Guest PDG BL Joshiji. I don't know whether my great friend Raj Muchalji is here in this platform because he is the person who made me or who actually gave me this opportunity to be here on this virtual platform today, this evening.
So he is there.
Okay, very good. So all other dignitaries and great Lions members of 3234 D2. I was really impressed with the way the district governor, Lion Abhay Shastriji, delivered his opening remarks, or rather the inaugural address. He had a very clear idea what I am going to talk. Sometimes the topic what I gave, or I have suggested 2 topics, and Raj Bhaiya also only selected this topic. And I think this topic is slightly difficult for you to pronounce sometimes or understand also, that I could make out from the words of the person who introduced me. So the topic today is being to becoming. So what is actually being to becoming? What is the basic essence of the topic that the district governor has already told you about the transformation? Yes, I will be talking something about transforming ourselves from where we are today to what we want to be in our life. I will just start sharing my screen and go to the presentation, because I know Ravindra ji was talking that time management is a great leadership quality. I also believe in that quality, so that I know I have to finish my session within 45 minutes. So without taking much time, I straight away go to my presentations. my dear Lions, January 2000, Kenyan radio made an announcement. The announcement was from the government of Kenya that all children above 5 years of age will be given free primary education. So parents of those children must go to the neighboring or nearby government schools to take admission for their children for primary classes. So the poor people of Kenya were so happy and they took their children to the nearby houses. And in a village in Kenya called Endure, there was a long queue. And as the last person in the queue, there was an old man, a grandfather, 84 years of age. And his name was Kimani Maruge. When the headmistress of the school gave admission to all the children, finally this gentleman, this grandfather, this old man was in the queue. The headmistress asked him, "Hey, are you here to take admission for your grandson or granddaughter?" But Kimani Maruge told, "No, ma'am, I am here to take admission for myself." All the teachers in that room, they got shocked. They were taken aback. What is this? They asked, "What is your age?" He told, "I'm 84 only. I'm just 84. Hey, why do you want to study at this age?" He told, "I want to write about the history of my country. I want to write about the culture of my nation. I participated in the Kenyan freedom struggle. I want to write about the heroic sacrifices done by the great freedom fighters of this country so that the posterity of the future generation can read." They told, "Sorry, we cannot give you admission because we give admission to children of 5 years, 6 years, or 7 years. Sorry, we cannot give you admission. Your age is too much. You may please go back." With a great difficulty, they sent him back. But when the school was getting opened, that day once again he came. A lady teacher called Elizabeth, having some sort of empathy or pity or love to this man, went and told, as a reason she told, "Come on, we cannot give you admission. Why did you come again? Because you are not in uniform. We can give admission only to the children who come in uniform." To her great surprise, after 2 days, she told this old man, just like coming like a 6-year-old lad in his uniform, school uniform. And this teacher, Elizabeth, went and talked to the headmistress, and she contacted the education department. With a great difficulty. She pressurized the education department authority, and finally, Kimani Maruge was given admission to first standard. Believe me, he was 84. He requested the teacher to give him a place to sit in the front row. Teacher told it will be very difficult because the small children cannot see the teacher or the blackboard or anything else. He told, "I will sit in one corner." What is the problem? He had some hearing difficulty because he and his wife participated in Kenyan freedom struggle. Both of them were arrested by the police, and the police murdered his wife, and a policeman, a white policeman, pierced his right eardrum through a pencil, sharp pencil, and his right eardrum was broken, damaged. So there was an issue whenever he saw the students in the class sharpening their pencils. Whenever they were sharpening the pencils, Kimani Maruge ran out of the classroom screaming, because suddenly he got remembered about the white policeman piercing the pencil through his eardrum. But slowly, initially the children were so much afraid and frightened about this man, but slowly, all the small children became very close to him. He started telling them wonderful stories, and even the teachers also became very friendly to him. And in 2005, Kimani Maruge, when he was 85, got selected as the head boy of his class, second standard. In 2007, Kimani Maruge had his first flight journey in his life. That was from Nairobi to JFK Airport in New York. He went to the United States of America. His entire expenditure, the travel, accommodation, everything was sponsored by the United Nations organizations, UNO. He was invited as a special guest to address the UN Assembly on the topic, the importance of primary education. Kimani Maruge went to the UN General Assembly and he spoke what is the importance of primary education, and he spoke so fervently about the freedom struggle of and the culture of Kenya. In 2009, those gentlemen passed away. In 2015, Google created a doodle to honor him in his name. You know, doodle is a pictorial presentation that Google will be showing on the homepage of different countries. And they made a doodle in honor of this man. And Kimani Maruge's name is there in the Guinness Book of World Records as the oldest man ever went for admission to primary class or took admission or started his primary education. It is a very inspiring story, my dear lions and lionesses. The story of Kimani Maruge of Nairobi or Enture village of Kenya, a person who decided to get education to become a literate individual when he was 84. The message is very simple. Being to becoming is all your mindset. Being to becoming is all a part of your belief system. Being to becoming is all your decision. Age is just a number. If we have the determination and desire to become wherever or whatever we want to become, wherever we are today, that is not at all an issue. That is not at all a difficulty. That is what Lions also. What do we want to become? We want to become the global leader in humanitarian community and humanitarian service. That is what actually Lions Club International want to become. Yes, we have already become. By crossing our Centennial Service Challenge target, we are actually impacting the lives of 200 billion people every year. Yes, we are serving the community at large. But again and again, or even now, we can again, there are more and more goals and more visions or more and more destinations for the Lions Club International also to become or to reach. Each individual listening to me, whatever age they are of, you are of. Yes, you can also become what you want in life. So that is what actually I'm going to talk about. My dear friends, being to becoming is a journey from being an ordinary lion to becoming a great lion. From the position of being an ordinary lion who goes to the meetings and sit in the back bench and enjoy the fellowship or the dinner and going back, how can you become a great lion? Just like Raj Muchal or Abhay Shastri or BL Joshi ji or someone like that. It is all about being just a member to becoming an officer. Rather than just being a member of a club. A club, maybe you have more than 7,000 members in your district. How many of them are coming forward to take the presidentship of the clubs? Very honestly speaking, many clubs are finding difficult to get the right kind of people who are ready to accept the mantle of leadership. Because they all think that, oh, no, I just want to remain as an ordinary member. So it is actually being just a member. Your journey must be from being a just member to becoming an officer of your Lions Club, your district, your multiple and international also. It is a journey from being a spectator to become a performer. You know, there are three kinds of people in this world. People who watch things happen, people who wonder what happened, and people who make things happen. Lions Club International want volunteers who make things happen. So it is a journey from being a spectator who just watch and witness to becoming a performer. How can you become a performer? It's a journey from being a dreamer to being a doer. Okay, always having it's always very good. But if you just keep the dream and we do not put the required action to make our dream into reality, and there is no need and there is no meaning of having a dream in your life. So being to becoming is a journey from being just a dreamer to becoming a doer. Yes, we want to do something for the society. So how can I make my club the best club in the district? Or how can I make myself the best service volunteer of Lions Club International in my area? So it's a journey. It's a journey from being always a critic to becoming a contributor. We can find criticism, positive criticism, always good for the healthy development and growth of any organization because it's needed. But at the same time, rather than being always a person who is always a critic, who goes to the meeting just to criticize, just to find faults with others, and it is actually a journey from being always a critic to become a contributor, contributing ideas, contributing your finance, contributing your time, contributing your energy for the service activities and the pursuit of service that Lions Club is doing. And it is, my dear friends, it's a journey from being an old version to becoming a new version of yourself. That is what is transformation. I just ask you, are you Windows Explorer or Windows 10? That is a simple question. Windows Explorer is something that Microsoft launched in 2001 or 2000 or 2001. And Windows 10 we have been using for the last many years. So every year Microsoft is also updating and improving their operating system. So are you still a Windows, a Microsoft Explorer, or are you a Windows 10, the latest version? Or are you a LAN of 15 years back? Or are you a LAN of 2020? Are you a 2000 model, or are you a 2020 model? Or are you ready to become a 2030 model? So this is a journey from that. I was talking to you about Kimani Maruge. I just want to show the picture of this gentleman. This is Kimani Maruge sitting in the school of Enture village, the Guinness World Record holder for the oldest man who took admission in the primary class. So let us all dream and let us all plan to travel or to make a fantastic journey, a beautiful journey from where we are today, what we are today, and where we want to reach. I just want to show you a certain gentleman or certain people. I don't know whether you know these guys, but I just want to cite some examples of amazing journey of being to becoming. This guy, his name is PC Mustafa. He is from my own state, Kerala. There is a district called Wayanad. It's a hilly district, and he was a member of a very poor family. And at the 6th standard, he dropped his school studies. He discontinued studies because his family was finding it difficult to make both ends meet, and he started going from some small coolie work with his dad. But after 1 or 2 years, he again had a dream. He wanted to become an educated person, and once again he went back to the school, and he completed his school studies, and he took his graduation from there is NIT Calicut, National Institute of Technology. He went on, and he became a graduate of NIT Calicut, and he took his MBA from IIM Bengaluru. He is an IIM graduate from Bangalore. After he got a job in the Middle East, and he went to the Middle East, and he went back. He came back after while he was doing his job or employed in Middle East. He came to India. One day he went to meet his cousin who is working in Bangalore, running a small shop. And when he was sitting in the shop of his cousin, a guy came there to sell idli dosha batter. Idli dosha batter. The batter was in a very dirty polythene cover, which was tied with some rubber band, and it was not at all healthy and hygienic. Mustafa asking his cousin, hey, is this the quality of the batter that these guys are serving and selling? His cousin told yes. Then Mustafa told them, why could we think of starting a new business of manufacturing and producing idli dosha batter? His cousin told that's a wonderful idea, because if both the husband and wife are employed, they find it very difficult to prepare dosha, idli, everything in the morning and the evening. If you can prepare very high quality idli dosha batter, there is a good business. So the idea was born. And he took his 4 cousins, and his cousin who was running a small shop in Bengaluru only gave the name ID, Idli Dosha. So the name of that company is ID Fresh. Today, ladies and gentlemen, this company is having its operation in Switzerland. He is having an operations in Middle East. He's having operations in Malaysia, Singapore, and most of the metropolitan cities in India, including Mumbai. I don't know whether it is there in Nashik or Pune, but in Bengaluru, Hyderabad and all, ID Fresh is a very leading company. It's not just actually the batter of idli and dosha. He makes various beef parota or various items in very beautiful hygienic packing with all modern facilities. He started this company way back in 2006 just by an investment of 25,000 rupees. Today, his company is having a turnover of more than 1,000 million. So this is what I'm telling. A school dropout boy now became an entrepreneur who is going to IIMs, and they're talking about the quality and the innovation idea, what made PC Mustafa a great entrepreneur and the owner of ID Fresh. Now, I want to talk to you something about a lady from Pune. And the name of this ma'am, who is called as Auntie G, is Sunita Pramod Agarwal. Sunita Auntie G reached Pune 45 or 50 years back with her husband from Agra. They were very poor people, and her husband was preparing breakfast and packed breakfast he was selling. And Sunita Ji, she thought that the income is not sufficient. So what she did, she started selling tea at SB Road in Pune. Only night, in front of a closed shop, she will have her small, stove and this vessels and everything. and with this pan and the gudka or whatever the cigarette or video, something like that. And night 11:30 to 5 o'clock, he used to sell chai. Best quality chai with no water, with elanchi and all those things. And the policemen at night patrolling, all the people, the rickshawalas, taxi drivers, everybody goes to SB Road to have her tea. She wanted to stop her business when she lost her husband. But SB Road police station inspector went and told Auntie ji, please come, we are missing your tea, we want your tea. So there are people who go every night to have a cup of tea, and she even today sells tea for 10 rupees per small cup, 10 rupees. And today she's the owner of 3 flats in Pune, having worth more than, each flat worth more than 1 crore. And she has been selling tea in SB Road, Pune for the last 40 years. And she had only one dream. She wanted to die selling tea in SB Road. So Sunitha Pramod Agrawal is another typical example, an embodiment of a person who can journey from being to becoming. Whatever you want in life, yes, that is why Bill Gates told, to be born poor is not our mistake. To be born poor is not our mistake, but to die as poor is our own mistake. To die as poor is our own mistake. So many people do not actually take any effort to become rich by way of ideas or wealth or personality, character, service, whatever it is. But Sunitha Pramod Agrawal, the Auntie ji, is not like that. Now, you may be watching the IPL cricket, and most of the, if you go to YouTube, Facebook, and you can find the advertisement of White Hat Junior, the coding app. And this guy, Karan Bajaj, again from Maharashtra, who completed his engineering, he went to America, and he was thinking, I want to come out with a new coding app that will be very good for the children to use. And he did a lot of research, and 2 years back, he developed White Hat Junior, the coding application. During this last April, May, it happened in June only, the owner of Byju's Learning app, Byju's Learning app, the guy who is the 72nd richest man in India within 5 to 6 years of time, the owner of Byju's Learning app. This guy told his boy, his son, 6 years old son, to use this White Hat Junior coding app. And Byju Ravindran, the owner of Byju's app, so his son was enjoying it like anything. And then he thought this is a wonderful product. Collecting the number of Karan Bajaj, who is settled in America, Byju Ravindran chatted him over WhatsApp. They started making WhatsApp video call, and Byju Ravindran purchased White Hat Junior, the coding app from Karan Bajaj, paying 300 million American dollars, all in white cash. 300 million American dollars. Karan Bajaj, the Maharashtrian, the young person from Maharashtra, he became a millionaire, owner of $300 million, just because of his innovative idea and developing a product, what is actually his customers are children need. So if you know what exactly the product your customers need, you can become what you want to become. That is what Lionism is also doing. 3 years back, we changed our global courses. So we have shifted our global course main priority to diabetes and childhood cancer, because we are giving what our customers means the poor people, the downtrodden people, what they want. Again, another example of a Maharashtrian, and this gentleman's name is Kailash Khadkar. He was a school dropout. He completed his studies at 10th and he stopped. And he went to Pune. And in Pune, he was working for 1,500 rupees monthly salary as an assistant in a tape recorder, in a calculator repairing shop. After working for 1,500 rupees salary per month, in 1993, this gentleman started a small shop in a 100 square feet area in Pune, and he started his own calculator repairing shop. And he started learning the computer application, the hardware of the computer. And after some years, in 1995 or 96, he started CAT computer service, and he got annual maintenance contract from some companies like National Insurance Company. And he was developing the computer service by his own idea, by his own effort. After that, this gentleman, he slowly, he started preparing or developing an antivirus. And his brother was studying in engineering college. Kailash Khadkar told his brother to don't go for any campus placement. He invited his brother to join the business. By that time, Kailash Khadkar developed an antivirus, and the name of the antivirus, QuickHeal, which is having an office in America. It is having office in Kenya, which is having office in Japan, which is having office in Dubai, which is having more than 40 offices in India. And this guy is a multi-millionaire now, and who is selling one of the best antivirus solutions in the world. That is Kailash Karkar's journey from a 10th standard school dropout to a billionaire now. That is the journey of being to becoming. And finally, a very interesting story of a Tamilian. He is from Thoothukudi. Thoothukudi is in Tamil Nadu. He was one of the 7 siblings of his parents, and he completed his 10th standard, and he went to city of Chennai because he wanted to support his family. And he was doing a job for 200 rupees. A friend of him in a hotel, a friend of him invited to Mumbai, and he told him, Mumbai, I can get you a job for 1,200 rupees. With the 200 rupees in his pocket, he took a train to Mumbai, and he reached Bandra railway station. His friend who offered him a job was there, and what did the friend do? Come on. The friend who actually invited him to Mumbai pickpocketed him, stole the 200 rupees in his pocket, and he ran away through the crowd. And this guy, knowing only Tamil and little bit of small broken English, he didn't know what to do. Finally, he searched for a job, and he got a job as a worker, a dishwasher in a bakery. He was extremely courteous and polite to the customers. And after 7 years working there, he started a small business in front of Vashi railway station. That is a pulling cart, a small pulling hand cart. And he started preparing dosha because he was helping his mom in preparing dosha at home. He was so hygienic and healthy, people started enjoying his dosha very much. And after 5 years, from that moving hand cart, he took a small premise just opposite to Vashi railway station, and he started his own shop called Prem Sagar Dosha Plaza. And my dear friends, today Prem Sagar Dosha Plaza is having branches in more than 8 countries in the world, more than 60 outlets in Mumbai, and he changed the entire taste of Mumbaians or Mumbai people's breakfast also. And 105 different varieties of dosha are being served at, Prem Sagar Dosha Plaza in Mumbai. And last year, his yearly turnover was more than something around 75 crores. So I'm just talking about PC Mustafa, Surda Pramod Agarwal, Karan Bajaj, Kailash Karkar, and Prem Ganapathy. Wonderful examples for giving us inspiration. If we have a clear idea of what do I want to become, what do I want to reach in my life, nothing can stop you and me, my dear friends. That is actually the beauty of the journey from being to becoming. Now, one day, a senior monk and a junior monk were traveling to a monastery or an ashram. It was evening time. They were feeling thirsty. Their stock of water ran out. They saw a small house, isolated small hut. They went and knocked at the door. A very ordinary poor man came out. They asked him for some water. The man gave water to them to drink. The senior monk saw one cow tied to a coconut tree. And he asked him, hey, what is your source of income? The poor man told, this is the cow. This cow is my only source of income. Do you have land here? Yes, I have 2-3 acres of land. Then why don't you start cultivating the land? He told, Swamiji, you look, this land is not good for cultivation. This is not a fertile land. So my only source of income is the cow. It was twilight, and they set a tank. They collected 1 bottle of water. They had to climb a hill, and they have to go to reach the next ashram. The darkness started falling. And when the senior monk and junior monk walked around the 200-300 meters, the poor man closed the door, bolted the door from inside. The senior monk told the junior monk to take the cow and come. He took the cow and come. They started climbing the hill. On the top of the cliff, the senior monk told the junior monk to push the cow down. He asked, what for? Hey, why do you want to kill this cow? The senior monk told the junior monk, do what I say. Okay, obey first. The junior monk, with great pain and sorrow inside, pushed the cow off the cliff, and definitely the cow got killed. And the junior monk never forgot that incident. Many a time it was haunting him in night also. Why did my Swamiji ask me to do that? After some 15 years, the junior monk wanted to know what happened to that farmer or that poor man. Changing his dress from saffron clad to jeans and t-shirt, he went to that place. My God, that place was now so many houses. And their place was cultivable land. Lot of beautiful agricultural cultivation. In the place of the small hut of that man, he saw a beautiful house. He went and knocked, and he saw the man. He asked him, how could it change? This man told, I had 2-3 acres of land. I told that, oh, this land, I felt the land was not good for cultivation, and I was depending on the cow only. But one day a senior monk and a junior monk came here. I don't know whether they have taken. My cow was missing. And what to do? I have some money with me. I went to the town. I purchased a motor pump, a water pump, which can be operated with a kerosene. And we had a cow dung and we started cultivating the land. The first year, the crop was very bad. Second year, the crop was also not good. Again, we went on, continued. Third year, the crop was slowly improving. Fourth year, the crop was very good. Fifth year, the crop was excellent. So I understood continuous cultivation make this land great for cultivation. When my land was bringing me very good crop, all the people came and they all started cultivation. Now I'm so happy. So I am thankful. Whoever may be the person who stole my cow, I am thankful to that guy. My question to all the lions of 3234 D2, my dear lions, are you ready to push the cow off the cliff? Are you ready to push the cow off the cliff? That is the question. That is the only way for you to journey or travel from being to becoming. My cow means push your comfort away. If you're so comfortable sitting at home only and not going and doing outside something for the service projects and activities, we can never go through this journey from being to becoming. Please push your overconfidence. Yeah, please do that. It so happened that when Barack Obama was contesting the president election, I don't know whether Biden got elected or not, whatever it is. So when Barack Obama was contesting the second time, Mitt Romney was his opponent. And Mitt Romney was overconfident that he will win the election. And the previous day of the counting, Mitt Romney told his wife, darling, tomorrow you are going to sleep with the President of the United States of America. That is what he told his wife. Next day, in the counting, Mitt Romney lost the election. Barack once again got elected. And with a stupid head, Mitt Romney went his home. His wife was well-dressed and having all the perfumes. And she was looking very beautiful, gorgeous lady. And the lady asked Mitt Romney whether Barack will come here or should I go to him. So if you have the overconfidence, sometimes, you will be put in such a panic situations or tight corners in life. Push your overconfidence and push your worries. Don't worry, my dear friends, if you are too much worried about, nobody can guarantee your future. I tell you, nobody can guarantee your future. Only by being more innovative, only by putting more effort than your next door neighbor, that only will give you future. There is no shortcut to getting a great future. There is no shortcut to becoming what you want to become. You have to put effort and you have to be more innovative. Every day you have to be innovative. Okay, friends. Either we see, I think we remain where we are because many people remain where they are after 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. Many organizations also. Why? Either we could not develop an ambition or our ambition failed. So the question is ambition. So the big question before us today is ambition. So becoming means having an ambition in life. What do I want to become? Where do I want to become? Where do I want to reach in my life? So ask yourself a question. What is my to and fro? What is my to and fro? Answer the question, your to and your fro, and have that ambition. That is the first step in your journey from whatever you are today, from the position of being to becoming what you want to become. I just want to give you 5 leadership skills to move ahead. And the 5 leadership skills to move from the journey or enjoy the journey of being to becoming. First one, be a change agent. Be a change agent. Those who do not change will perish. Those who change after change will survive. Those who change with the change will succeed. Those who cause change will lead. Try to be an agent of change. Second one, learn from mistakes. Yeah, we all do mistakes in life. So learn from mistakes. That is what actually we all have to do. So, the lessons we learn from mistakes is what is called experience in life. So learn from mistakes is your second leadership skill. Third one, excellent matrix environment. The COVID-19 has taught a lesson. You cannot be a specialist in one area alone. We have to do a lot of work. One man who is running a business cannot just actually sit in his cabin and looking the accounts and go back home. No, he may have to look at the production, marketing, sales, packing, everything. So matrix environment is an environment wherein which a person is doing lots of many jobs. I'm just telling multitasking. You have to be good in multitasking in this world today. Be local. Be local. Lions Club International is a global organization doing local projects. So think globally and locally, act locally. That is your 4th leadership skill. And the 5th one, be a talent magnet. be a talent magnet. I tell you, Abhay Shastriji, yes, you become successful because Ravindra Satpure and great team of you are working for your district. You envision some projects and they are executing the projects. Why? Because you became a very successful talent magnet. I just want to remind you, my dear friends, if you are in an organization or a business, make your team members climb Mount Everest every day. Make your team members climb Mount Everest every day. That is what I just want to remind you. And there are 4 styles of leadership. Some people are only directing. They will tell the new members what to do, how to do, when to do, where to do, why to do. So giving all directions, they always give, do like this, do like that, not do this. So certain leaders are always directing. Certain leaders are coaching. What they will do, they will definitely be with the team members and they will coach. That is coaching style. Third one, supporting. Supporting is actually, he will be a part of the team and the leader is more interested to build up trust and relationship. He is a part of the team and he will definitely be one among the team members supporting them to perform. So that is what is called supporting. He is volunteering and involving in the activity, but he is maintaining relationship and trust. And the last one is delegating. He will be a part of the decision making, but he gives free hand to the people, ownership and authority to the people to do what you want. So please understand, in order to journey from being to becoming, if you want to reach wherever you want to reach, my dear friends, try to develop all the 4 styles. Try to develop all the 4 styles, not easy. 54% use only one style. 54% of people, not the first one I am telling, only one of the 4, 54%. 34% of people use 2 styles, combination of 2 styles. 11% use 3 styles. Only 11% of the leaders are combining 3 styles. And believe me, only 1% use all the 4 styles. So I want the line leaders, try to use all the 4 styles, though it is very difficult, but don't be using only one style. If you use only one style, your journey from being to becoming will become all the more delayed and tough. And I'm coming to the final part of the presentation. What are the 5 Ds of being to becoming? First D, do deep work. Second one, develop focus. Third one, dare to risk. Fourth one, develop a system. And the 5th one, deal with the setbacks. These are the 5 Ds of being to becoming. Let us go to first one, deep work. I recommend all of you to read a book by Carl Newport. Carl Newport, C-A-R-L, Carl Newport. The name of the book is Deep Work. He was a software engineer, but he wrote a wonderful, beautiful book called Deep Work. And reading the book will give you insight. How can you use your time productively? Many of us are actually doing many of us. My dear friends, we are all spending time doing a lot of work in the evening. We ask a question, what did I do today? What did I accomplish today? What did I achieve today? And the answer is a big 0. Why? Because we are not doing deep work. And what is meant by deep work? Deep work is professional activity. It is professional activity performed in a state of distraction-free concentration. What is that? State of distraction-free concentration. Suppose if my wife or somebody else is actually putting the video very TV loudly, enjoying the match between Mumbai Indians and Delhi Capitals, can I concentrate in this presentation? No. So we all need distraction-free concentration. So doing a work in a distraction-free concentration that pushes our cognitive capabilities to their limit, that will push our cognitive understanding capabilities to limit. So simple it is. Deep work means an atmosphere of distraction-free, an atmosphere of no distraction to do our professional work. And what are the benefits? It creates new value. If you can work 4 hours a day without any distraction, it creates new value. It improves your skills, no doubt it will improve your skill. It is very hard to replicate. I have a friend, Abhijit Acharya, who was with me in the LCRP training when I attended in Kathmandu. I know he is a friend of mine from your district. So suppose what actually the deep work style of Abhijit, I cannot replicate it. Nobody can replicate our deep work style. It stretches our minds. It definitely stretches our minds. It gives meaning to life. So understand, very simple, deep work. I can tell you, Bill Gates, Think Week. He is having 1 week in every month called Think Week. Why? Because when his ideas are getting, eroding, Or when he's lack of some new creative, innovative ideas, he will take 1 week holiday. Only one email channel to reply. No other thing, no social media, no Facebook, no Twitter, no Instagram, nothing. 1 week he will take leave. Rajinikanth, the superstar of South Indian movie industry, every year 1 month he go to the Himalayas and pray there, meditate there, because he wanted to get new energy. Many people are doing that. Many people are doing that. That is the beauty of doing deep work. And 4 rules you must remember about deep work. Work deeply, I told you, without any distraction. Please avoid all distractions. If governor wants to do something very seriously, preparing for the cabinet meeting, please stop your mobile phones, all those distractions, and do that. That is what actually work deeply. Embrace boredom. When you do a job and there is something called the attention residue. What you did a job for 1 hour and you're doing the job for next 1 hour, there must be a gap. Continuously, nobody can work with the same effectiveness. There must be a small gap between an interval between that 2 hours. And during that interval, do nothing. You will tell that, sir, Vaman Kumar, doing nothing is a boring thing. Yeah, accept that boredom. You have to embrace and accept the boredom of doing nothing sometimes. That will definitely enhance your effectiveness. That will make you more productive. Quit social media. You will all laugh at me. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. I'm doing my regular morning yoga and workout morning, 6:30 to 8:30. Come what may, I will never touch my mobile. I keep it in silent mode. Because I don't want any distraction during that time. So you please plan what time in the morning, afternoon, and the evening you have to. Of course, the Lions leaders must be, accessible online. Yes, I do agree. But don't become an addicted to online, my dear friends. If that's the case, you will not find a time to do any other work. And finally, drain the shallow. Please stop the shallow. Shallow means something that is not useful at all. Useless work is what is called shallow. Throw away all the shallow work. This forwarding unnecessary videos or forwarding too much of, or actually going to Facebook and actually begging and requesting for likes. All those shallow works, unnecessary forwards and replying to unnecessary mails. And all those shallow, something shallow is just opposite to deep. So all avoid such a shallow work. These are the 4 rules according to Carl Newport. If you want to become what you want to become, please develop this. You deep work. Second, D, develop focus. A beautiful sentence by Jack Ma. Do not chase too many rabbits at the same time. Don't chase too many rabbits at the same time. In a funny way or in a lighter way, I'm sorry. This is one mistake we have done when we were college students. We were all chasing so many rabbits, so finally didn't get even a single rabbit. Rather than if you have chosen or chased only one rabbit, at least you would have got that rabbit in your hand. I mean, in a lighter way. One day, a man was driving his car through a village because he's a bank manager. Every day, a dog from a house will come barking, and the dog will chase the car for 1 kilometer. The bank manager will put his accelerator, and never the dog succeeded in chasing the car. One day, the bank manager met the dog owner, and he asked him, "Sir, I don't understand. Why does your dog chase my car every day, barking loudly? Not even one day your dog succeeded in chasing my car. And why the dog is repeating the same thing?" The dog owner told the bank manager, "Sirji, what surprises me is something different." What is that? Suppose my dog succeeds in overtaking your car. Suppose my dog succeeds in defeating you and chasing your car and overtaking your car. What will my dog do after that? What will my dog do? Will he drive your car? That's what surprises me. I'm sorry, many of us are like the dog in this story, running behind so many things without knowing what am I doing or what am I for, what am I running behind. Please stop doing that. Develop focus. If you're a club of diabetes activity, develop it. That is what specialty club is all about. If you're doing vision camps, okay, develop into that. If you want to actually make 100% reporting in my service activities in my lane, okay, secretary of a club, focus into that. So we need focus. Second one, develop focus. Third one, dare to take risk. Nobody can achieve something substantial in their life. Nobody can become what they want to become without taking risk. So let me tell you, attempt solving tougher problems. This COVID-19 has taught us. Don't run away from tougher problems. Take a risk. Yeah, there is a possibility of failure, but attempt to solving tougher problems in your life. That will help you to become what you want to be. Second one, delegate with empowerment. You cannot do everything by yourself, I told you. Don't have actually the God syndrome. What is this God syndrome? Thinking that I'm omnipotent and I'm omnipresent. I am the most powerful leader. Nobody can question me. No, no one is omnipotent. No one is God. Leaders should not have that God syndrome with them. You always understand that you need people and delegate with empowerment. You have to take the risk of delegating. And third one, increase benchmarks. If you have done 10 projects last month in the month of October, you raise your benchmark. Okay, so you just push your benchmark to 15 projects this month. If 500 membership was the last year growth, okay, when I was the governor, my district is a very small district in Kerala. But I wanted to, I set up, sorry, I'm not flattering. I set up a benchmark, the highest membership growth, the highest number of club extension, highest contribution to LCIF. Yeah, I want the highest, the biggest service project ever carried out. 75 houses I built for victims of the 2018 Kerala flood. So I wanted to set some benchmarks. So you have to take a risk and increase your benchmarks. And finally, my dear friends, you must have the gut feeling. Yes, I am capable to. I can, I will. That is what actually your I can must be more powerful than your IQ. These are the words of Robin Sharma, the monk who sold the Ferrari, his Ferrari. Your I can must be stronger than, powerful than your IQ. So this is dare to risk is the third D. And fourth D is develop a system. Be system driven, not person driven. Yeah, always in your business, in organization, family, whatever it is, you must develop a system. If you are a person driven organization, if you're running an organization or a business that is driven by a person, if you are locked down and you cannot go to your office for 2 months, your business will fall to zero. So be system driven. Always develop a good system to become what you want to be in life. A culture of discipline, develop that culture of discipline. Many organizations shatter and fail because they do not have a culture of discipline. In Lions also, we must start the meetings in time, end the meetings in time, and give opportunity to all members to speak. Okay, we must have a culture of discipline. Clubs which are not having the culture of discipline will not sustain and survive, my dear Lions. And keep refining or replacing system. You cannot run your business with a system you developed in 2000. All companies are changing their system. All the companies are now looking for new system. Domino's Pizza in Mumbai, they started home delivery of vegetables. They understood that people will not come to your Pizza Hut. So then what to do? And people may not even eat the pizza because they don't know how healthy it is. So the Domino's Pizza, using their employees, they started delivering vegetables to the shop. So you have to develop, replace your system. Have proper system, free of time, and use it to think and prepare for the future. So if you want to prepare for the future, develop a beautiful system. And the final and the last point, deal with the setbacks. When you try to make the journey from being to becoming, when you are trying to make the transformation happening in you, in your business, personal, and social life, definitely there can be setback. I will just tell you an example. Do you remember this? 5 wickets for 17 runs. This gentleman had an angioplasty done last week or 2 weeks back, but no, he's okay. The greatest ever cricketer India produced, Kapil Dev. You remember 1983 World Cup. Nobody predicted that India will become the champions or even they will enter into the qualifiers. In the quarterfinal match, they were fighting against Zimbabwe, and India's first 5 wickets fell. And Kapil Dev was going to, what a setback. All the top, just like Sunil Gavaskar and Srikanth, all such great pinch hitters are gone. 17 runs, 5 wickets fallen down already. What to do? But Kapil Dev, the man faced that setback. If you have the capability to face any setback, you must believe every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. I just want to tell the story of a rock team, U2 band. That is an Irish band started by 4 youngsters in 1976. Only 4. The main lead singer of that U2 band was Bono.
and they had a bass guitarist, and the name of the bass guitarist is Adam Clayton. 1976 they started making some albums, and they became popular, and their album in 1986, Pride, that became world famous. In 1987 they got an opportunity to perform certain concerts in America. Now one problem was that this Adam Clayton became highly a depressed individual. He was a person of depression, and he was an addict to drinks. It was very difficult for other three members of the team to manage him, but he was a very talented guitarist, so somehow they managed. A alcohol addict, but still they managed. On 3rd and 4th April 1987, they had to perform 2 concerts in Tempe in Arizona in the United States of America. They reached 1 week back. Before that, they had a local manager and agent of the program, and 2 days before the program, the Tempe manager went to Bono and told him that there is a threat message. Bono got a threat. What was a threat? Bono got a threat message that somebody was threatening that if Bono sings the song, The Pride, there is a beautiful song in their last year album. The name of the song is The Pride, and it was the song about the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. And a white man from America gave a threat that if you sing that song, highlighting the glorifying Martin Luther King Jr. as a great martyr, I will shoot and kill you. So there was a death threat. They approached the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The FBI officers told, we cannot do anything. We do not have snuffing dogs or metal detector. There are only 2 options. Either you cancel the whole program or you don't sing that song. Bono, the singer, decided, I am going to sing the song. If I'm going to be shot down, okay, I'm ready to die. 3rd April, it was the last song he sang. 3rd April, nothing happened. Then the manager told 3rd April night to them in the room that he may be waiting for tomorrow. Why tomorrow? 4th April is an important day because it was on 4th April Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. So he may be waiting for that day. Next day they were terrified and really they were worried. And Bono decided to sing the song, last song. He didn't want the person to kill him and shoot him. So he closed his eyes. Closing his eyes all through the song, Bono sang the song. He knew that this is going to be his last song in his life. And this guy, if he is a sharpshooter, he will kill him. He enjoyed the song. He put his best effort and talent, and he wanted to make his last song the best song he ever sung. Nothing happened. When he completed the song and he opened his eyes, Bono saw something really heart-touching. What was it? Adam Clayton, the alcohol addict and the depressed man, the bass guitarist, he was playing the guitar all the time, just standing in front of Bono, facing his back towards the audience. Adam Clayton was playing the guitar, facing his back towards the audience, or his back towards the audience, and he was standing as a shield, just like a commando and a shield to Bono. And Adam Clayton decided, if the person is killing, let him kill me. I will not allow my leader or my troop leader, my friend Bono, to be killed. I'm asking, do you have people to support like Adam Clayton's? Have you developed Adam Clayton's in your life? Lions Club International is an organization that gives you hundreds and thousands of Adam Claytons. Raj Buchal is a friend I got through ALLI training, so humble and so down to earth and so wonderful a trainer. So we got these types of people who are ready to support us, safeguard us, and that is the way you can deal with the setbacks. So my dear friends, life is like a hot chocolate. The happiest people don't have the best of everything. The happiest people don't have the best of everything. They just make the best of everything that they have. Don't worry if your journey from being to becoming the transformation is not taking place. You wanted to become a millionaire businessman, billionaire business is not happening. You wanted to become a pilot and you didn't become that. You wanted to be a district governor within 20 years of your line career, you didn't become that. Or you contested election once or twice and you... So forget all those things. being to becoming, try to make, we will not, the happiest people don't have the best of everything. Okay, when you travel from being to becoming, then you want to transform yourself into something else in your life, just to make the best of everything that you have. Whatever you have today, try to make the best of that. That is the best way to make us possible the journey, enjoy, find a new version of yourself. That is what actually the journey, as I told you, from being to becoming. I'm really thankful to Rajbhai once again, Abhay Shastriji, the district governor, and Ravindra Satpude, the GLT coordinator, and all of the great lions of District 323 for T2. And thanks to Corona, that is why I got an opportunity to do a training program here in this virtual platform. I hope you will definitely think seriously about being to becoming. Let us become the best volunteers of Lions Club International, and let us continue the journey of becoming world's leader or the global leader in community and humanitarian service. All the best. Thank you very much.